In Coffee Group today, we are joined by psychologist Chantal and counsellor Shirley from Renew Your Mind. They teach mindful parenting courses in Auckland. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Now, in your line of work, you must hear a lot of parenting myths. Would that be right?
Yes.
So, Chantal, what are the parenting myths? What are the problems with them?
Parenting is a tough job. And if you add all these unrealistic expectations, you're adding a lot of pressure that is really not helping.
Yeah, so we're talking about things that maybe if you look at people's Instagram accounts and you see their perfect child wearing skills, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and
Maybe a few myths in
perfect
there.
houses, and the kids always look happy and clean, and it's just not realistic.
Sit down, Mummy wants to take a photo, you will look happy. So Shirley, what's one of the parenting myths that you find that stands out for you?
Yeah, I mean, one of the ones that I was always intrigued by was the idea that children need quality time. And I remember reading things like 15 minutes every day, one-on-one focused attention, and you could set a timer so that they would know when it was over, or taking your children out for a date, you know, like a regular one-on-one date. I can't even find the time to do that with my husband. So trying to do that with each of my 5 children, I thought if that's what they need, then they're really stuffed, because it's not happening.
So you're talking about there was myths that you should set a timer and go, okay, your quality time's over.
I remember reading this, and now, of course, what I've realised is it's the quality of the time that they actually have that matters. So it's the muddle of our everyday family lives, choosing to take time to pay attention, to be available to have fun when it happens, not to try and create it.
Okay.
To be able to listen, you know, all of those things, so that it's the quality of the atmosphere that they're growing up in, so that they feel like they've got good connection and they've got good, you know, good bonding on a daily basis, rather than these kind of short, sharp, intensive, supposedly amazing.
Because sometimes, though, that quality time that you've manufactured, like you say, it doesn't actually, it's never a happy time for anyone. Whereas the quality time that you get...
It's so disappointing.
Yeah, isn't it just...
There's just such pressure for the kids, for them to be well behaved, for them to really enjoy the food, for them to have a lot of fun, and for them to suddenly open up and be honest.
And the parents are also saying the same thing.
On cue.
You want that quality time, and everyone's got to be happy. A couple of weeks ago, when we had those the floods in Auckland, best quality time ever. Went out and just waded through the flood water. It was so much fun. Chantal, what about you? What stands out for you, the parenting myth?
Well, one of the things I often notice is that this myth that children need to be happy most of the time, at least, and when they're not happy, there's something wrong.
Okay.
And I think it's actually really unnatural, because adults are not happy all the time, so why should our children be? And when you just create a bit of space for them to be it okay for them to be upset or angry or just grumpy, then it takes a lot of pressure away.
That sounds like really a bit of a relief, because no one has happy children all of the time. No one's happy all the time. So how does it actually work, though?
Well, for example, my eldest child is 4, and he has a bit of an anger outburst every now and then, and we try to find ways that it's okay for him to be angry. Not all the behavior is okay, so we have boundaries around what expression that can have, but the emotion is okay. So, for example, we had visitors the other day that came in and were a bit shocked because my 4-year-old was in his room screaming, and I was like, oh, it's okay, he's just having an angry moment, he'll come back when he's ready.
And they're going like, all right, we're not coming back to visit here for a while. These guys are crazy. But that is true. Sometimes they just need it, don't they? They just need you to say, OK, I know you're grumpy. Just get it out of your system for a bit, then come, you know, you'll be fine.
Don't break anything, but go on, let it out, and then when you're done, come back and we can talk about it.
And accept them as it. Shirley, what do you think on that?
Yeah, I mean, a good example for me is how I got this wrong consistently for many years, which was picking the kids up from school every day. And I thought I was so lucky because I didn't have to, you know, be at work for that time. And so I was going to make the use of the time. So every day, how was your day? Tell me about your day. And I'd either get silence or I'd get a catalogue of bad news from the day, and I was so frustrated that it turned into really poor quality time. And now I go and I have no idea what they'll need. They might need empathy, they might need listening, they might need silence, but what they get is good quality, ordinary, everyday time.
Yeah, it's the ordinary that is actually the best of the best at times, isn't it? Chantal and Shirley, thank you so much for coming in today.